Did you realize you might be the only truth teller here? Regarding accusations against others, without admission, who can discern truth from lies? Just as everyone prepared to argue, the judge abruptly interjected, saying debating this absurd accusation was pointless. For now, just go back to your rooms to sleep and wait until tomorrow to leave. If you meet the Irwins, confront them. Suddenly, the rich kid realized the two accusers on the radio were victims of his drunk driving, which killed 2 kids. However, the rich kid blamed the kids for running onto the road. While he said that, he casually took a sip of his drink, and the next moment, he then started spitting out blood and collapsed in front of the horrified crowd. It dawned on everyone that this party was more than just a get-together. Next, the scene shifts to the maid, who is having a nightmare where she sees the butler murder an old man. Worse still, the old man was the victim the butler was accused of killing on air. Clearly, it wasn't a dream, explaining her fear. Suddenly awoken by a knock at the door, the strange thing is, when the maid asked who was outside, no one answered. The next morning, the butler arrives at the doctor's door, reporting a strange incident. The maid died mysteriously in her room. The doctor confirmed, after examining the body, the maid died hours ago. Who killed her? The butler? Apparently, the butler is the top suspect. The doctor, leaving the maid's room, met the secretary who'd seen something odd in the living room. So she led the doctor to the living room and told her that the 10 little soldiers on the dining table had mysteriously turned. This matches the 8 alive in the villa, the original 10 align with the rhyme's 10 soldiers, prompting the secretary's suspicion. She thought the rhyme had deep meaning, but the doctor saw it as a coincidence. Was that truly so? Later, at dinner, the secretary inquired if anyone had moved the soldier dolls. All denied it. Who took the 2 missing dolls? The mysterious, unseen culprit. Meanwhile, the rich heir and maid didn't die without cause. The secretary suspected poisoning, and the doctor was the last to be with the maid. The doctor even carried a medical kit with him, which seemed suspicious. After hearing the secretary's analysis, everyone started questioning the doctor. To prove innocence, the doctor had his medical kit checked. It held only sedatives, unrelated to his death. After all the hassle, with no leads, everyone had to sit tight in the villa and wait for the boatman to arrive, regardless of who, no matter their intent. Once they leave the island safely, all will end. While waiting, the captain suspected Owen, their inviter, was hiding on the island, but they hadn't found him. But after the captain and the sheriff searched the entire island, they still couldn't find any trace of other people. Meanwhile, the general told the secretary that the boatman would never come. Nor would anyone come to rescue them, for this island was the end of their lives. But the secretary had no idea what the general was talking about. After saying so, he left. Soon, the nun saw a large flock of birds circling nearby. Something seemed to be beneath. The nun curiously approached to check it out, but was met with a chilling sight. This was clearly a premeditated murder, but who was this mysterious killer? Subtitles: no one else was found on the island but them. Was the killer among them? Before anyone could understand, the secretary noticed, passing the dining room, that 8 little soldiers became 7 after the general died. Now, apart from the secretary, no one believed the killer was following the nursery rhyme to kill. Meanwhile, people kept dying in the villa, forcing all to gather and discuss the killer. The secretary still believed that the murderer must be Owen, hiding somewhere on the island. But the sheriff insisted that, in the face of danger, everyone should keep a clear head, suggesting that perhaps Owen didn't even exist. Since they, 8 strangers, were gathered on the island, they may share something in common. In order to uncover the truth, they began to share their backgrounds, but apart from being invited guests, there seemed to be no other common ground. If anything, they all had one thing in common: they were all accused of murder. Except for Shanway and the rich kid. Others denied having murder records. The judge then noticed something. He realized that Owen's full name translated to unknown, almost like a riddle. The judge believed it was suspicious that this mysterious killer might very well be among them on this island. The sheriff theorized that the killer was the butler, as Head felt the butler had been acting suspiciously from the start, and others agreed. However, without waiting for a summons, the group went to their rooms to sleep, only to be awakened midnight by the doctor's gong downstairs. He had risen to eat. He unexpectedly found the butler disemboweled. The bloody scene sent the secretary rushing out, vomiting. The butler's gruesome death proved he wasn't the killer, matching a verse axed into life ended. 7 down to 6 survivors remain. The doctor then realized the secretary's guess was right all along. The killer is following the rhyme of the 10 soldiers to kill, meaning all present could die. Upon uncovering the truth, the Doctor was completely shattered. After all, facing the fear of the unknown is a primal instinct. Shortly after, the secretary entered the dining room only to find that the 6 little soldiers on the table had dwindled down to 5. The secretary, likely signalling another death, rang the gong and found the nun brutally stabbed in her room, aligning with the 6 soldiers in the rhyme. Playing with madness leads to fury, flying in a fatal blunder. Now 5 remain. Still, even though everyone realizes the killer was following the nursery rhyme for the murders, they felt helpless against it, for who would become the next victim remained a mystery.